Hi everyone. I promised myself I would do these videos come what may when I'm having good days, bad days, ugly days. Today is one of those ugly days. Not ugly as in unattractive, but just one of those days where I'm finding grief really hard. I think you might feel the same. I spent last night just before going to bed just crying because I just kind of I'm finding them as time goes on, it's this awareness of he's not coming back and he's not here. And looking back at his where his chair used to be in the living room, I'm not even dressed today, in case you're wondering what the heck I've got on. Um, and I just kept looking back, and there's little things like touching my skin with my own hands suddenly trigger this feeling and memory of him touching my hands, and it's really painful right now for some reason. Everything seems to be cropping up emotionally. I'm still breathing into my heart, like I said in the last video, but it's a bit harder when it's really heavy stuff. And I'm finding as a woman, hormonal times as well. I'm in perimenopause, and I find just before my period, my mood slips and it goes really low. And that's what's been happening today, just feeling really low. And supposed to be going to my group tonight, this group I'm in, and it's our Christmas evening. We're going to meditate and have nibbles and socialize, which I'm not really in the mood for. I really would rather just stay home. But as I'm not really seeing a lot of people right now, I'm going to push myself to go. It's just around the corner from where I live. And yeah, it'll be what it is, won't it? It'll be what it is. I just keep thinking, I suspect you're thinking it too, is when's it going to end? You know, I know grief is always going to be there, that the loss of those that we love is always going to be there. And I'm reminded of a quote I saw on Facebook last year when my friend Paul died, and I was grieving him, and it's not that the grief goes away, it's just that life becomes bigger around the grief. And I guess my life's not big enough at the moment to surround the grief. And I'm not one big one for doing New Year's resolution anymore. But I guess if I had one wish, I don't like the word wish either, for 2024 is just to feel brighter, to find some relief, and for my life to feel fulfilling and satisfying enough that the loss of Michael isn't so damn painful, and that I can clear out the house a bit more. I've cleared out most of it, but there is certain areas of the house, like his room, I've rearranged the room so the bed's on the opposite wall, because I found when it was left where it was originally, I just found myself walking into the bedroom, crying, lying on his bed and crying some more. And I had to move things around. You might find that you've had to do that too. It is better, but his smell's still there. And there are some things like men's tools and things I maybe would be able to use around the house at some point, but I haven't got a clue what half of them are right now. So I've got things like that to sort through in the new year. I haven't got a clue about them actually. It would be nice to know a guy locally who could just go through the tools with me and just tell me what's worth keeping, what they're used for, etc., etc. It's, you know, if you know someone who's grieving, a woman, and who's not maybe that savvy when it comes to DIY, and they've got things to clear up from their friends or their partners or their husbands. They haven't got a clue what it is. Just offer to help, offer to go through them and just say, look, this is what this is for. You won't ever need this, or keep this, it'll come in handy. These sort of things I think we need. It'll be different if you're a man, if you've lost a wife or a girlfriend. There'll be things of hers that you're struggling to come to terms with or wondering how to let go of, or whether you should keep hold of them. I know I've got more clothes I've got to give to charity. I'm holding on to a few things. I especially need to let go of the padded gilet that he was wearing when he was really sick with the cancer, and he was so cold, so he'd lost so much weight. And my last photo I took of him was in that, and it still smells of him. And I keep saying to myself, I'm going to wear it, but I never wear it. So I think it needs to go to the charity. So I'll probably take that there in January. Some guy who needs it can use it. I took his coat a while ago and put it on this. There's a place in Gloucester where they had a bus shelter with hooks on it, and it just said, leave a coat for like the homeless. And I took it there one morning, and 2 hours later it was gone. So somebody had good use of his warm waterproof winter coat, which I was really grateful for, because I think he would have really appreciated that. The hardest thing, isn't it, is that most people don't understand that the grief is ongoing. They think you should be cheering up or feeling lighter by now, and I know I am better than I was, but I'm kind of going down into the emotional tears and sadness again. And I just think it's the winter months, the darker months, the season. And as the weather gets nicer, I'll go out into nature more. It doesn't seem very appealing here at the minute because been getting a lot of rain, so everywhere is just wet or flooded. So it's can't really get out so much, and I don't drive. So normally I would get on a bus and go somewhere nice, or go to Averystone Circle. I just wanted to check in. I'm checking in for me and just hoping that somebody is getting something from these videos at some point. I don't know. I don't think they've got many views at the minute. And I just hope that someday somebody's going through something similar and can just put one of these videos on and cry along with me, or just be comforted by the fact that you're not alone in the way that you think and how you're perceiving your world at the minute. And that it's okay if you feel like you're regressing backwards. That when certain challenges in life arrive, or for example, the winter is here, Christmas, celebrations come up, that you are going to be reminded of the times you spent with them. I'm still not looking forward to Christmas Day. I keep choking up about that. I got my friend coming, but with her new dog, but the dog's it's a very scared little chihuahua, and I think it's going to take some time to be comfortable with other people. Runs away from me at the minute. It would have been nice if it was a bit more animated for Christmas Day, but it's not. And I'll be having a glass of wine on my own because my friend doesn't drink. She's elderly, and it will be different. The conversations will be different. Michael had such a beautiful mind. Sorry, excuse me. I loved his mind. He had such a beautiful way of thinking. He was a deep philosopher. He wrote a book on the I Ching, and it's called Michael Doherty. If you want to buy his book, I'm hoping the royalties are going to come to me soon. Amazon's being really, really ridiculous. His son's the executor. Everything else is cleared and sorted out, but Amazon basically not just wants the death certificate to transfer the royalties to me, but they want to confirm that he had a divorce from one of his second wife, which was 45 years ago. And I think she's not even alive anymore. But Amazon Books actually said they want that. I think they just want to hold on to his money, to be honest. But it's ridiculous that these corporations do things when other companies can sort things out so easily. So I don't even know why I said that. Oh yeah, yeah. He was a very philosophical man, and he thought about the world a lot. He was a teacher. He taught maths and physics. He was also a plumber, an electrician, a decorator. He drove an ice cream van. He was in the military. He had his own business, led the manufacturing company. Just his mind was just beautiful, and I loved listening to him, and I just loved talking to him. There's times when I was speaking to someone who was just really in a really superficial conversations, like when I would go up north and spend time with my mother, her brain doesn't really think very intellectually. So after a week with my mother, I just felt like my brain had gone a bit mushy and I needed some intellectual brain to talk to. So when I got back home and Michael greeted me, it was like, oh, thank the Lord. I can actually use my mind again. And I really miss that. Really miss that. Apart from the physical connection, I miss conversations we had. And I just don't know what Christmas Day is going to be like. My friend, she's been really great support. She's an elderly woman, but she's not very awake to what's happening in the world. And we were very awake to what's happening in the world. So conversations tend to be around certain subjects, and that's it. Whereas me and Michael would talk about everything that's happening in the world. We would listen to music, blues music, rock music, pop music, anything with a good guitar Michael loved. And it was just a pleasure just to sit and have a glass of wine after Christmas dinner and just talk about everything. So I don't know what it's going to be like. Don't know. I know I'll probably cry on Christmas morning when I realise he's not there, and I'll be opening presents from a couple of friends and my mother, and there'll be none from Michael. And it's hard, isn't it? It's really hard when you've lost someone that you love. Doesn't matter who they are, if they've touched here, it's really hard. I don't think I've shared any nuggets of wisdom in this video, just my feelings mainly. But well, I hope that knowing that as life becomes bigger around the grief, it will become less. I'm hoping that too. And yeah, may 2024 be more graceful for us all. I've no doubt I'm going to speak to you again, but if anyone's listening, thank you. My love to you.